So there are three parts of this chapter. The first part of the chapter we started talking about it, and the concluding verse of the first part is Yetu Sarvani Karmani, where the Lord is explaining how becoming my devotee is the most easiest way, the fastest way, the highest way of attaining me. That is the first part of this chapter. Then the second part of this chapter, beginning from verse number 8, is how can you progressively move towards Krishna from wherever you are. Right? Because whenever we talk about bhakti and reaching perfection, we all are at different stages of our journey from so many lifetimes. So we should identify where we are and move ahead. Right? I always say this, that whenever the practice of bhakti is like a marathon. Marathon? So many laps you run. So when you see a marathon, at one point of time you may see about 7, 8 runners, sprinters, all at the same place. But what does that mean? Does that mean all are on the same journey? No. Some sprinter may have done already 4, 5 rounds. Some may have done 3, or some may have done more. Right? So a marathon is people on a long journey, 20 kilometers or whatever, So that is how when you look at each other, there is no comparison. When you look at each other, there is no comparison. Many a times in life, we become perturbed, confused, disturbed because we compare with others. We are happy, but we see others getting something more than what we got, we start feeling deprived. Seen that? You do good, but you see someone doing much more better, you feel very small and very sorry about yourselves. And thus you become discouraged. So that is not how we should plan our lives. We should know that each of us are in unique journeys of lifetimes. So somebody who is doing very good may have already done the sadhana previously, so they are able to perform now. And we are yet to do that, practice to come to that perfection. So we should always take inspiration from others, always learn from others, but only focus on our own journeys. That is the second part of this chapter. And the third part of this chapter is, like you can say, Bhaktastakam, where Krishna is saying, if you read the verses after 13, 14, he's saying, Yomad Bhakta Same Priyaha. Yome Bhakta Same Priyaha. So Krishna is saying, what are the qualities of the devotees which make them endearing to me? Right? The devotees are very endearing to me, but the devotees are actually decorated with so many wonderful qualities that makes Krishna endear towards devotees. Just like if people are humble, kind, and respectful, do people love them? Do people want to be with them? Yes. So there are qualities that if you adorn yourself, you become lovable to God, to lovable to everyone. If you're lovable to Krishna, you will be lovable to each and every person. Right? So bhakti is like working on the foundation. If you work on the foundation, every other aspect of the development will be very substantial. Right? So we will touch the first and second and do something on the third. Is that okay? So on the first part, Krishna is saying that become my devotee. That is the easiest, fastest, and the highest way of attaining me. That means it is the most, most premium journey. There's economy journey. There is, what is that? Business class. There's something more than business class. First class. And maybe premium, whatever. Premium way of going to perfection is bhakti. Right? And we studied bhakti means to love Krishna, to love God. We can fear God, we can go to God because we desire something, we do business with God, or we dutifully work with because the Lord has done so much, so I should also be dutiful. And the highest is you love God. So right now in the 12th chapter, Krishna is speaking about the highest, that is you actually engage in my love. So I will just read the salient points of what it means to do that. Right? The first thing about loving Krishna is when you actually do devotion, um, Krishna takes responsibility of the lives of devotees. Doing all the other platforms of worship or different yogas of worship, we have to take responsibility for our success. But in bhakti, you try sincerely to approach Krishna, and Krishna takes responsibility for your success. Right? So that is the first thing that you have to understand. Why bhakti is very easy, why bhakti is very safe, because Krishna intervenes in helping us reach perfection. You make your endeavor, and Krishna will shower his mercy and make up for the shortcoming. Right? So that is the first principle that we need to know, that we may not have many qualifications, or we may not have any qualifications, which makes us feel, are we qualified to make perfection, to become Krishna conscious? The only qualification that we need to know is to pursue devotion. Yes, pursue bhakti. Just like some of you are students of law, some of you were students of subject. So if you pursue studies, pursue a field of commerce, pursue law, right? Just pursuing makes you successful. If you just go sit in a college and pursue your studies, do you become successful? You got to do much more. You got to, clear the exams, the assignments, the interns, and this and that and that and this. And if you finish, like you have, say, about 100 credits, and you finish 99, and you have one left, do they give you a degree? No. I know for a devotee one of our student, he didn't get his degree because he was yet to clear one credit. So they won't give you a full-on graduation until you finish all the credits. But if you're pursuing your studies and the professor and others are very interested in making you qualified, right? How does that work? Things are going to be much easier. Because they want to bring you to success, so they will always give you the shortcuts, the tricks, and almost tell you what is going to come in the exam. Prompt you out, right? Then perfection is how difficult. So this is like that. You pursue the path, and the person is prompting you, is always giving you hints and making up for your, imagine the examiner who is correcting your paper is your well-wisher. So wherever you missed an answer, he can write it and give you full marks. Possible? Possible. So this is something like what we are talking about. Bhakti is a process where you pursue sincerely to the best you can, and Krishna hints you, prompts you, and gives you all that you fall short. That is why the qualification of bhakti is sincerity. The qualification of bhakti is sincerity. What is sincerity? If you want to explain sincerity, how would you say? Like, if you say, ye banda to sincere hai, undeviated, without ulterior motive, without focus. You may use it in your language. When would you call a person sincere? Okay, when do you call a... Huh? Okay, when... Okay, we'll make it It's like, for example, when will you say your employee is sincere? Good results, you call them sincere? He finishes his work, you call sincere? He's honest, you call him sincere? Imagine somebody is very expert, but he only does 50% of it and does it. And he finishes the task. He finishes the work, but he does only 50%, he has 100% capacity. Yeah, but still, you would feel, array, he could do much, but he's always. Yeah, but still I'm saying, the point that I'm trying to say is, the word sincere, when you say the bhakti we need sincerity, is, all of you are on the answer. Consistency, okay. Giving it means? Yeah, very, very close what Mataji is saying. If people are trying their best, they may not be best, they may not be great, but they're trying their best. So you know that they're endeavoring. So you always know that you can train them. You can hone them, because whatever you give them, they're trying their best to their capacity. जितना उसका talent है, they're trying best. So you understand they are sincere, they're committed. So Krishna is looking for the quality in all of us of trying our best, sincerity. Whatever is our capacity, we're trying that. Okay, we have capacity to give, half an hour to Krishna, and we're doing that to our best. We're trying whatever we are capable. Maybe our situations in life are so tormented and complicated that we don't have that mental space. But then the little time we have, we try our best and do it for Krishna. So Krishna is always looking for our sincerity. Isn't it? We are trying. So Krishna says, if you're trying, if you're sincere, you're pursuing, he gets happy, becomes happy, and he prompts, he hints, and he makes up for our shortfall. Right? So huh? What may take time? Krishna's mercy is always there, day one. It takes time for us to. It takes us time for us to realize it. It takes us time. Just like parents showering concern and mercy to their children. Children initially may feel botheration. Slowly as they grow up, they realize it is not botheration, it is genuine. And after some time you realize, oh, that's how I've come so far. So Krishna is like that. He's always concerned and always showering, but we can only see it when we are tuned in. If we are not tuned in, it will not appear so well with us. So that is the first qualification, that Krishna compensates and Krishna makes up for our success. The second thing that we hear in this part is, if we don't serve Krishna, we will automatically serve some negative causes and get into trouble. Our nature, dharma. What is dharma? Dharma means that which sustains one's existence. Makes sense what I'm saying? Dharma, if you say duty, dharma, that which sustains one's existence is called dharma. For example, sugar. What sustains its existence? Sweetness. Water. What sustains its existence? Ability to quench the thirst. Imagine you drink water and you don't feel satisfied. Would you call it water? No. So for all of us, what is our intrinsic nature that sustains us? Each of us, what is the intrinsic nature we have that sustains our existence? Just like sweetness for sugar, saltiness for salt, quenching thirst for water. what is it that sustains each and every one of it? Which basically means if you don't do that, it's like sugar not tasting sweet means, then what is its existence? So similarly, what is the intrinsic nature for us that sustains our existence? To love others? Yes, to love and serve. If we love and serve, it's like, we have someone to whom we can love and serve. We have a family to love and serve. We have a nation to love and serve. We have people to love and serve. If you don't have someone to whom you love and serve, your existence will seem pointless. Imagine in life people have no one to love, no one to serve. जीने का मतलब होगा? होगा? No. Right? Though people are selfish majorly, but they're actually loving and serving someone, of course, in spite of being self-centered and selfish. Because that is their very nature. And if you don't have anyone, what do you do? Yes. Prabhupada said, because people are not worshipping God, they're not loving and serving God, they need that compensation. So they replace it with DOG. Because it's an intrinsic nature to love and serve somebody. I know of a doctor, he's a cancer, okay. He's a very big influential person. And he happened to have, he didn't have any children. He had a dog. And the dog demised. When the dog demised, it was like, complete vacuum in his life. Every day in the evening, he would go to the burial ground of the pet, carry garlands, carry agarbatti, carry flowers, carry biscuits, carry so many things the doggy liked, and put it all on that particular place the dog was buried. And then he would cry genuine tears of separation for almost half an hour to 45 minutes. And this the doctor did for more than 3 months, and after doing this for 3 months, felt little pacification. Now you and me may be feeling, if we do not have that, what is this? But because we have an intrinsic nature to love and serve, it is obvious. Manti is man. What do you mean that? Okay. Okay, but then self-preservation, definitely what Mataji is saying, is a principle. At the end of it, people would want to self-preserve. But having self-preserved, then what? Then what do you do? And if right, there's a deeper philosophy of self-preservation actually. That why do we really want to do self-preservation? We actually want self-preservation. We basically love our body. And why do we love our body? Because we love ourselves, the soul. If the body falls dead, who loves it? Yes? Yeah, but but we love ourselves. We love ourselves because actually we love our intrinsic self, that is the soul. Just like I love myself, so I love my house. Because my house gives protection to myself. So love for my house is actually because I love myself. Make sense what I'm saying? So I love my body because I love my soul. And I love my soul because my soul is part and parcel of Krishna. I love Krishna. That's why I love myself. It's much more intrinsic. You got to deeply think about it to understand these aspects. Self-preservation doesn't just kind of end with this aspect, right? So the intrinsic nature we have is to love and serve Krishna. Love and serve. And our loving and serving propensity to people, to things of this world, does not create satisfaction. Experience that? People, things, society, whatever you do, your loving and serving propensity gets engaged, but it does not give you satisfaction. Raise your hand, you feel satisfaction. Why we don't feel satisfaction when we love and serve people, family, community, and so much? The reason we don't feel satisfaction is not because they are not worthy. The reason is our longing for love is like an ocean. Our longing for love is like an ocean, and the people's capacity to give us love is like a drop. Make sense what I'm saying? People's capacity to give us satisfaction or love is like a Bindu. And our desire is like a Sindhu. Sindhu, you understand? Sindhu means ocean. Right? That is why after working so much into sacrificing ourselves for others, we still feel frustrated. The reason we are frustrated is because our loving propensity can only be satisfied by an unlimited quantity of love. Yes. Never satisfied. So it is oceanic. So the only person who can satisfy us fully is someone who has oceanic love. And that is Krishna. So if you are loving Krishna, which is what we are trying to, we actually will feel fulfillment of our dharma, of our existence. Right? So sometimes it may look very abstract of loving Krishna. Right? Loving things of this world look very, not attractive, but you can say more tangible. But loving Krishna may seem very abstract, right? Very abstract aspect. But the reality is that our fulfillment would come when we actually connect our love towards the Supreme Lord. And it takes us a journey to be able to understand His presence in our life and understand Him around us, right? And that is a journey of bhakti, right? So that is the second point, that our loving and serving propensity, if not engaged towards Krishna, will get diverted to something else. Yes. So you cannot but love and serve. So the same propensity of love and service, you put it towards Krishna. Okay, you don't want to do 100%, start with 2%, 5%. You kind of begin that. And that makes up for our journey. So that is the second point. The third aspect is the Lord, the devotion to Krishna can only be, you can understand Krishna if you offer loving attitude. Like for example, Ram, Lakshman, Sita, Hanuman are here, right? And you want to make an offering to them. So if you make an offering to them like a chore, what an interesting word. Right? The English word for doing things is called doing chores. Chore is really a chore. Isn't it? But if you're offering to Krishna like a chore, that means you're not giving your heart. Then you will not feel, you will not experience the presence of Ram, Lakshman, Sita, Hanuman. But if you offer to the Lord with devotion, that my dear Lord, it's time for your lunch time. You must be hungry. Here is nice boga. Please accept it. We have tried the best to make it clean and very right, and chant some mantras of chanting, And then if you offer to the Lord, you will feel some reciprocation. You will feel the presence of the Lord. So bhakti is very practical. If you apply your heart in a relationship, even with people, you see that? When you offer some emotion with anyone, you can see the reciprocation from the other person. So people in general are so dead actually because they're so self-conscious, self-centered. But still, if you offer them some emotion, they can feel it. He or she. And Krishna is the most softest personality. So if you offer him your love and do something for him, either with chanting or offering or even coming and taking darshan and thanking with some emotion, Krishna will reciprocate with you. So that is the third thing, that in bhakti, Krishna reciprocates. But to receive his reciprocation, you have to offer your love. Yes. है ना? Bhagwan bhav ke bhuke. He wants that affection and emotion, isn't it? Even for us, जब कोई हमको भाव देता है, then we feel involved. But if somebody doesn't give us bhav and deals with us like anyone, then we feel ठीक है भाई, इतना importance नहीं दे रहा है. Yes.
We are not preparing in kitchen. Our cook is preparing. He is giving out the plate there. At times we go, we think, Krishna bana diya hai, ab play with. That's all. So, and that time also if someone say, I'm sitting there and my wife is here or son is here,
how does it goes?
But at times you say,
It's something like, imagine you call someone as a guest, you call Amit Prabhu guest, and you're about, and something is coming, and you say, are you come and give. So then Amit Prabhu will feel love? No, he will feel, he has more important things, and he's telling somebody else to serve. He will accept it, but he'll accept with some grudge or not so happy feeling. but the point he's saying is, even we are not putting our emotion, we are negligent, we are telling someone else to do, we are thinking, अरे मेरे को time नहीं है, तुम कर लो. वो बोलता है नहीं, मेरे को भी time नहीं है, उसको दे दो. और तीन लोग झगड़ा करके बोलते हैं ठीक है मैं थोड़ा कर लेता हूँ, कल तुम्हारा चांस है. बट एक्चुअली क्या होता है ना, भगवान ये सब सुनते हैं. भगवान हमारी बातें सुनते हैं. तो इसीलिए भगवान के साथ जो भी डीलिंग हो बहुत सेंसिटिव होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि वो प्रेम के भूखे हैं, प्रसाद के भूखे नहीं. तो हम क्या बातें करते हैं, ये एक्चुअली गीता में लिखा हुआ है, कृष्णा एक्सेप्ट्स द वर्ड्स in his offering. He accepts the words. He hears, are my devotees interested in making an offering to me? One of the explanation. Krishna hears, they say Krishna eats through eyes, but in one of the explanations it says Krishna accepts through ears. He sees what is the love the devotees are exchanging in making an offering to me. मेरे लिए जब भोग बनता है, लोगों के लिए पीड़ा है या लोगों के लिए आनंद है. So he sees, are we happy to prepare for him? in this in the Gita, the purport it writes. I will after the class I will show it to you. But the point that we are trying to say is, whatever, even if it's little, do it genuinely. Do it genuinely. Maybe we do little service, but do it genuinely, and then you will see Krishna reciprocates. So you can see that when you deal with Krishna cold, then then Krishna appears to be cold. Then when you pray to Krishna and say, Krishna, do something for him, and I'm in trouble. Actually, our heart will also not be genuine because we have not cultivated the relationship genuine. Imagine you have misdealt someone. How can you go and genuinely ask help from them? In friendship, you've always ditched the other person. In the sense, you've been very rude and crude. So when you're in trouble, can you call that friend and ask for help? And even if you do ask for help, the person would try the least. Right? So many times people say Krishna is not reciprocating. So what I understand is it's never like that. Krishna is always reciprocating. But now, how did we deal with the person? Accordingly, the reciprocation will come. If you've been cold all the while, then when you pray to Krishna, the response will be cold. Ye yathama. Right? So that is the third aspect, that how you deal. So deal with Krishna, devotion is you offer your genuine enthusiasm. Prabhupada says one should work for Krishna, and that work can be any kind of work. You could be a warrior, you could be a doctor, you could be a businessman, you could be a lawyer, you can be a mother, you can be a father, you can be a driver, you can be a peon, you can be the president, you can be the minister, you can be anything. That is a detail. Whatever work you're doing, you make it as a loving offering to Krishna. That is what Krishna takes it up. Right? Isn't it? That is what Krishna takes up. That emotion of service. Right? Imagine someone is appointed to clean this whole house. And the person cleans it with that emotion. Oh, this is Krishna's. This is Lord Ram's temple. Here Lord Ram is the center. And the person cleans the whole house with that emotion. So he is the person who is going to make most amount of advancement in love. Right? Everything has to be connected with that emotion. Right? Now, for example, you come to the Lord and someone offers a lot of gifts and lot of things to God. It's of lot of quantity, lot of wealth, but then there is a sense of pride, or there is a sense of feeling that, oh, I'm doing it. Yes, yes. और उनको पता है कि सब भक्तों को आस्वादन होगा तो yes, yes. So emotion. So I was saying, you offer to the Lord wealth, you offer to the Lord gifts, you offer to the Lord a lot of things, but the emotion is that of certain pride or certain superiority. Krishna may not take it so well. Krishna is happy, but is not so happy. And someone may give a very little thing, but he has emotion, oh my dear Lord, I do not have so much, but I have just little, and just please accept it, and trying my best. Krishna is going to see the sincerity of our work. So all of us, whatever work we do towards Krishna, do it with a sincere heart. And that has to be a cultivation. Cultivation means it won't come by itself. This is the gym. This is the spiritual gym we're kind of practicing to grow those muscles, so that at the time when it's required, we can stretch.
When you are serving God and you are completely the same time when you are serving your Guru and you are serving your Guru with more of heart. And if you commit any mistake, Guru makes you correct also. So it is better in that case, till you are not advanced to serve the Guru.
This is the actually secret. We serve through devotees because devotees help us train how to serve Krishna. To directly serve Krishna needs qualification, right? So that is why all of us, when we are serving, we're serving through Prabhupada's words, we're serving through our teachers. So actually, because there are people who have love for Krishna, and when you hear from them, they can tell you how to love Krishna and train you how to love Krishna. That is why the easiest way to love Krishna is through the devotees, those who have love. And being associated with those who love, we will also feel some love. We will also feel some dedication. Right? Yeah, I'm saying जो भी हम सेवा करते हैं, हम अपने गुरु वैष्णवों उनकी आदेश के अनुसार करते हैं, right? So that kind of direction and guidance helps us develop our devotion. The Prabhupada taught us, you don't have love, but every day come and worship the deities. Every day you chant Hare Krishna. Come regularly for a spiritual gathering. Right? So we don't have that emotion, but we are trying. Krishna records it and gives us an installment of his mercy. He's a person. Just like you do dealings with people. Right? So for us, serving deity is one way. Serving the holy name as we chant is another way. How do we deal with other devotees is another way. How do we deal with scriptures is another way. How do we serve is another way. So dealing with Krishna is not only as deities. There's so many ways we are given opportunities of direct or connected aspects. So the third thing we are saying is, whatever work you do for Krishna, do it with love. Do it with the sincere most emotion, with humility, with gratitude, and that has to be a practice, right? Prabhupada says very interestingly in this purport, he says when you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What happens when you do this? Yes, yes, yes. So what happens as a result of purification? Yes, yes. He says if you chant Hare Krishna, you will start feeling attraction for Krishna. I like this point when I read it. If I chant Hare Krishna, I will develop my attraction for Krishna. Service to Krishna. Yes. Yes. So if we chant Hare Krishna, we will develop our attraction towards Krishna. It's as simple as that. That's why Prabhupada said chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Because if you chant Hare Krishna, you will start feeling to serve Krishna. And if you serve Krishna, you become in your Dharma, feel happy. So every day if we chant Hare Krishna, our attraction for Krishna will keep on and grow. That is the easiest way of keeping our consistency with our devotion. And chanting may look like medicine. For many of us, chanting would be like medicine. Medicine means it doesn't taste great. It tastes bitter. We have to convince ourselves, अरे आज का डोज लिया नहीं, डॉक्टर ने 3 डोज बोला था, 2 हो गया, 1 बचा है, नहीं लेंगे तो इन्फेक्शन ज़्यादा हो जाएगा, राइट? उस प्रकार से भी अगर हम शुरू करते हैं, डोज लेते लेते क्या होगा, बीमारी ठीक हो जाएगी और हमारा भगवान के प्रति प्रेम बढ़ेगा. This is the fourth thing, says, right? The fifth thing, what Naveen Prabhu said, right? That when we are engaging in devotion, we take shelter of Guru and Krishna for perfection. If you have someone who is always ready to support you, help you, journey is very easy. Right? You want to become a big Fortune 500 or whatever. And somebody who is at that level says, I'm ready to train you where you fall short so that you can make it. It's easy, right? So similarly, we take shelter of Guru, Vaishnavas. To make advancement and perfection is very easy. To do it by ourselves is always difficult and risky. Right? But if you have an experienced person, he can always tell you, okay, this is how you go about it. Or you're falling short, this is the reason. So bhakti becomes very easy because of the aid of the association of devotees. Even if you're not feeling so enthusiastic, being in association of devotees, you feel enlivened and you feel hope. All alone, we may go into moroseness. Right? But you come in the association of devotees, they will enliven you. Right? So Krishna in this place is concluding by saying that one who performs devotion, Ashtanga Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Kanda, Yajna, Dana, Tapaha, all the benefits that come through all of them in a journey, they all are kind of secondary results if we pursue devotion. Devotion will encompass all of it and much, much more. Make sense? It's like, for example, if you say Karma Kanda is 10 rupees, Karma Yoga is 100 rupees, Tapa Jnana is 50 rupees, 75 rupees. Then you say Jnana is 1,000 rupees and Dhyana is 10,000 rupees. But if you have 10 lakh rupees, then you have it. You have all of them. You don't have to worry about the 10, 50, 75, 100,000, 10,000. You have so many of it in that. So bhakti is something which encompasses everything. Why? Because if you have a direct connection to Krishna, all the other aspects happen automatically. Yes. So with Krishna, everything else gets compensated. So these are mentioned in the Shastra. That's why Krishna says, in the conclusion, what does he say? Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayasvami ma shuchi. He says, my dear Arjuna, I have spoken so much in 18 chapters of the Gita. But in conclusion, I like to tell you, just surrender unto me and give up all the other attachments and depend on me for your journey. I will ensure your success. I will kind of undo all your shortcomings and I'll lead you to perfection. Krishna is saying, I'll take responsibility. Mai sanyasya mat paraha. Matlab giving up all the other things, focus on me. That means in our life, putting Krishna in the center of our lives and doing everything in love for Him. You begin with one thing and you make actually everything connected in that way. And that's all you need to do. How difficult it is. You anyways have to do connected to Krishna. That's why bhakti is so easy. You don't have to become a yogi, tyagi, jnani. You have to become a premi. That's all. Gajendra was an elephant. He got in trouble. A crocodile caught him. You know the story? Right? And he was helpless and he was about to die. He didn't know God. He didn't know really who it is who can help him. So he took a lotus from the water body, raised it up, and said, "Whoever is the supreme, I offer myself in full surrender. I have seen all my relatives, all my friends, all my power, influence is not coming to my rescue because they themselves are fearful. Fearful. If they enter waters, Magarmach will catch them. So nobody is going to come and actually save me." So Gajendra knows that all have fallen short. He lifts the lotus and says, "My dear Lord, all that I have invested in has fallen short. Now it's only you I depend on. Hey Krishna." He just offers the lotus, and the Lord was in Vaikuntha wearing Pitambari. He just jumps on the Garuda, instantaneously comes there, sends his Sudarshan, cuts off the head of the Magar, picks up Gajendra, and immediately Gajendra transforms into a four-handed Vishnuduta, puts him on the Garuda Airlines with him, and off to Vaikuntha. वही वो तो पीताम्बरी पहन रहे थे, कपड़े भी नहीं पहने. He was in such emergency, he was wearing his clothes. He said, "My devotee is calling, it's an urgent appointment." He didn't even bother. Just like when the gopis would go to see Krishna, they would not be so well dressed because there's so much in hurry to go and see Krishna. So the Krishna is so eager to meet his devotee. All that Krishna is looking for is the call for love. हमारे जीवन में सबको बुलाते हैं, बट हम प्रभु को नहीं बुलाते. जब सबको बुला के थक जाते हैं, तब सोचते हैं शायद प्रभु कुछ कर सकते हैं, उनको बुला लेते हैं. Right? Which one? I don't know. But here Gajendra said, "Oh, that is in ecstasy." Anyway, I think it is mixed with 2-3 photos they have been embedded. So this is the first theme of this particular chapter. We will not change the topic. We will not change the topic from where we are talking. Yes. So the first thing that we have to understand, that we have to become sincere. We have no one to really show up. Be sincere, and whatever you're doing, do it with your sincere emotion to please Krishna. And be sheltered in the association of devotees to get trained up. So this is the first thing. This is the easiest, fastest, safest, and the highest way of attaining Krishna. This Krishna personally is saying. Why? Because Krishna himself intervenes and leads you to success. The second aspect is we are in the progressive journey of devotion. So we need to see where we are and move further. So the first stage of devotion is Mayi eva mana adatsva Mayi buddhim niveshaya. He says, you're literally living in me. The devotee lives in Krishna. That means the devotee lives in a relationship with Krishna. Whatever the devotee is doing, he always feels presence of Krishna. He never feels he's away from Krishna at all the times. Right? That is the stage of Mayi eva mana adasva. His mind is in love for Krishna, and he can feel the presence of Krishna in every aspect. When he eats prasadam, he goes into ecstasy. This is Krishna's prasadam, this is Krishna. So he feels so homely. He chants Hare Krishna, he starts dancing in happiness, and he feels no insecurity. Prabhupada, during the time the Second World War was happening in India, Second World War was happening in India. Prabhupada, everybody was in curfew and moving hither and thither. And at that time, Prabhupada with devotees was chanting Hare Krishna and doing Sankirtan. During the time when everything was hither and thither, Prabhupada was doing kirtan and moving around. He says, now if you're chanting Hare Krishna, remembering Krishna, and we're Krishna conscious, then what is the fear? And even if a bomb comes and hits us while we are doing Sankirtan, what will happen? You go back to Golok. Because you're immersed, like Sankirtan, you see, when you're dancing and singing, you're immersed in Krishna. So Prabhupada was so fearless. And you can know that is how Prabhupada went to the Western world fearlessly. Because he was living in Krishna. He was in the ocean, but he was able to feel Krishna's presence. He was in the Western world with no money, no resource, no people, no contacts. But he was feeling very home with Bhagavatam, with Chaitanya Charitamrita, with the words of his Guru, with the holy name. So for us, externally we would see Prabhupada is so alone and in despair. But for him, he was so much full in his Krishna consciousness. So this is the first platform of bhakti. Mai eva mana adatsva. Literally, vyakti prem mein. And when you love somebody, the somebody not being there creates feelings of separation. And separation brings you more fond remembrance than presence. Make sense? Separation brings you more fond remembrance than presence. So devotee with Krishna and in separation to Krishna is also in ecstasy. So this is the first platform. Raise our hands. We are on this platform. We are breathing Krishna, remembering Krishna, in love for Krishna, at all the time. So we can say that for Prabhupada, we can say it for the great devotees. They can take utmost risk, not because they want to show how great they are, because they don't feel that risk being with Krishna. They know they're doing it for Krishna. Right? So such a devotee, we get association of them, we should sort. We should look for it. Because these are trillionaires, zillionaires of bhakti. By hanging around also with them, by being with them, by hearing from them, by serving them, you learn what is love. Right? That's why the great devotees, we always look forward to hearing about them, being with them, serving with them. So, Mayeva mana adatsva. Because they are in love for Krishna. The first platform of devotion. The next platform of devotion is, if you cannot fix your mind upon me, this is sloka 9, 12.9. 12.9. If you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, that means the first stage is your mind does not deviate from Krishna. Like when Uddhava came to Vrindavan to pacify the gopis who were in separation to Krishna, Uddhava saw one gopi meditating. And Uddhava asked the gopi, what are you doing? He says, I'm trying to forget Krishna. But this Krishna has entered my life so deep that he is not leaving. It teda Krishna, na? सीधा अभी निकल ही नहीं रहा है. एक बार चले गए अंदर, it's not going. So Uddhava was stuck. I was trying to come and help them pacify that they're feeling separation from Krishna, but they are in such extreme love for Krishna. Uddhava became overwhelmed to see the devotion of the gopis. So this is like the mind is not deviating away from Krishna. They're trying to, they cannot. So the next stage is, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation. अगर आपका स्टेज है कि आप without deviation mind fix नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. So the next level is called sadhana. So what is sadhana? Every day we are trying to follow regulative principles. What are regulative principles? Every day we will chant a fixed number of rounds. No meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling. Every day we are trying to offer some service. Regularly we're trying to associate with devotees. We're hearing from devotees. Aditya? So we design our life in such a way that we keep increasing our desire for Krishna. We keep taking a dose. So sadhana bhakti means regularity and consistency. There may be levels of it, but if it's like if you're chanting a fixed number of rounds, even if that's 2 rounds or whatever it is, but you're doing it every day. That means you got into sadhana. That means you. That means you're serious about Krishna. Yes, consistency is a sign of your seriousness.
It's like brushing your teeth.
Yeah, you'll be fragrant.
No, like you brush your
Yes, every day. You eat prasadam. Raise your hand. We miss eating prasadam. You always would find time to do it. If not in the morning, then in the afternoon. In the afternoon of the day. It's every day. Right? We know that it's important for us. We can't miss it. Like that, sadhana means we do it every day, consistently. So like that, reading about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, chanting Hare Krishna, serving Krishna, associating with devotees of Krishna. Like this, we have a regulation. So, all of us, all the devotees who are coming for the programs, I would put them in this category of consistently. It's like we are serious that we want Krishna in our life ultimately. We have at least kind of signed up, right? ठीक है, धीरे चल रही है गाड़ी, no problem. But जाएगी तो कृष्ण के पास ही. And then, हाँ, रास्ता तो ले लिया है, right? But Prabhupada said our sadhana should be like we chant 16 rounds, design our whole day in such a way that we're doing it for Krishna. Our family, our work, and everything. That means he said 24 hours we're Krishna conscious. Right? So, our sadhana would be chanting, but even our work we're trying to be Krishna conscious, doing it for the Dharma in a principled way, for a higher cause. You could be doing everything. Slowly, you make your whole life designed in such a way that we are Krishna conscious. मतलब वो दिल लगी नहीं है, पर दिल लगाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. हे प्रभु, आपसे प्रेम करने की कोशिश कर. साधना भक्त कौन है? इसका साधना है. And what is sadhana? Sadhana is about wanting to love Krishna. That is the practice. Ongoing practice. The desire in whatever you're doing is Krishna, I want to develop my attachment for you. I come regularly in the association to hear about you so that you start having more presence in my life. What is the agenda? What do we get when we come together? We are trying to strengthen our devotion. So that is the agenda. The agenda is clear. And as devotees, we keep trying to purify it, make it more better and better. So this is the second stage of practicing sadhana. If you cannot fix your mind without deviation, then practice every day. And that practice is not whimsical. The practice has to be under someone's tutelage, who tells us whether we're doing it right, whether we're doing it not right. Right? Somebody who's expert, and who can help us? Someone who is more expert than us. He can bring us at least to that level. We don't have to wait for the best person to come and help us. Right? So we need many tutelages and many people to kind of help us on. Now, if you cannot practice the regulation of Bhakti Yoga, then work for me. just by working for me, you will come to the perfect state. This is the third stage. So highest is Mayeva Manadasva. The second is right Abhyasa Yogena, and third is Mat Karma Paramo. Mat Karma. Right. So I would say our stages will be a combination of 2, 3, and 4, because it's not that all the time we are able to just practice the regulative principles of bhakti at all the time. Maybe after some time, when we fulfill all our responsibilities, we may want to graduate further and further into it. Right? The third stage is work for me. And we have, I think, heard this quite a lot. Work for me. So Krishna says, what do you mean by work for me? He says, Prabhupada is saying, how to do this work has been explained. One should be sympathetic towards the propagation of Krishna consciousness. If one cannot directly practice the principles, help the work of expanding Krishna consciousness. Every endeavor requires land, capital, organization, and labor. Right? Just as in business, one requires a place to stay, some capital, some labor, and some organization. So the same is required in the service of Krishna. The only difference is that in materialism, one works for sense gratification. The same work, we do it for satisfaction of Krishna. So if one has sufficient money, he can help in building an office or temple, or can help with publications or various activities. Right? The same person can sacrifice a percentage to propagate Krishna consciousness. This voluntary service to the cause of Krishna consciousness will help one to rise to a higher stage of love for Krishna, whereupon one becomes perfect. So he says, when you work and use your hard earnings to spread Krishna consciousness, further Lord's work. He says, by feeling sympathetic, the word that Prabhupada uses, you feel sympathetic to the work. Sympathy means a good work is happening, which is actually helping people become Krishna conscious and perfect their lives. So you are sympathetic towards a good cause, and then you support it so that it can happen by land, labor, capital, or your intelligence, or your whatever resources. Yeah, but that's more karma kandi. I meant to say, when we are doing it here, it's more with the understanding that I'll develop devotion for Krishna. See, the point is, everything you do in the Vedic school can be on different levels. Yes, our. Okay, so my question, now I think it depends on the definition. What do you mean by your wealth gets purified? So what does that mean?
Your wealth is becoming pure. Pure in the sense कि वो wealth purify हो गया, उसमें अगर त्रुटि हो गए तो हमारे it becomes filtered.
उसका मतलब एक एग्जाम्पल दीजिए कि उसका मतलब क्या है. मतलब मैं आपका पॉइंट समझ रहा हूँ, बट मैं समझना चाहता हूँ कि वो क्या समझ है जिसको आप बता रहे हैं. Because everything is said, it has a explanation. So what do we mean by our wealth gets purified? Okay, prosperity will come. Prosperity will come.
It will not go into medicine, it will not go into hospital, it will not go into the galat cheezon mein, galat kaamon mein.
Bhishma Dev speaks to Yudhishthir Maharaj that for a Vaishya, when he earns money, he speaks a lot of lies. Right? Because that's part of doing business. If you buy it at 10, you're not going to say, I bought, because you're making a bargaining. You have to speak lies and you have to do certain diplomatic things. Businessman. So he says that is allowed. That is allowed for a Vaishya. Why? Because he's going to create resources. But when he gives charity, that nullifies all that wrong doings. So this is the explanation that there has been so much other aspects, so that all gets purified, then the resultant action of that wealth will be positive. Because if you use a wrong means, if you lie, then by dharma you're going to be penalized. But when you use the same wealth for a good cause, then that gets purified. But now this is, I would say, it's like a karma kandi level. Like so many people do ritualistic worships. They give money because they know if I give money to God, mera bhala hoga, mera bura nahi hoga. So this I would call is a, it's not bhakti level. Just on this, I'll just on this. So this is like papa punya, which I would say is very good. At least for people, they have this understanding. Ki, if I connect to God and do something, then I'm safe. So he at least understands the authority of the Lord. He is not like an atheist. He's a God-fearing person. So he will do little manipulation, but he will not do sin. एक स्टेज तक जाएगा बस, और उसको भी वो कॉम्पनसेट करेगा. इतना धार्मिक हो सके उतना जीवन चाहिए. But that is papa punya, as you rightly said. It could be karma kand. But here when we are saying work for Krishna, he is not working for just punya. He is giving his work and fruits because he wants to become a lover of Krishna. And how does he become a lover of Krishna? Because he becomes a lover of Krishna because he becomes a sympathizer of those who are loving Krishna. Through that sympathy, your love develops. You see, so much good work is being done. Prabhupada is doing some good work. People are sacrificing. I should also assist so that the good work expands and many people benefit. So you appreciate the work. You genuinely appreciate and want the good cause to increase. And that's how that appreciation increases. And the more your appreciation for the good work increases, you will also become part of doing it. And that's how then you become more sadhana bhakta. Because if you don't appreciate the work, you are not going to do that in the future. And the point that is, you appreciate the work, just like Prabhupada said. If a child is lost from the father, imagine the father is a very rich man and is lost on the road like a beggar. What is the best charity to give to that child who has lost from the father? To give some good clothes, to feed him 3 times, right? So Prabhupada said Krishna consciousness means connecting every person who has become an orphan to connect to Krishna's love and care. That is the best charity. You give them food, still they're going to cry because they're feeling separation from the Lord, from their rich parents. So Prabhupada said, what are we doing in spreading Krishna consciousness? We are bringing everyone to their own father, Krishna. And once they connect to their own relationship, they will not feel insecure and insufficient. Today people have so much and still they feel insufficiency. Why? Because they don't have Krishna. Right? So poor people are people who are away from Krishna. Right? And if you're with Krishna, then you're not poor. So the good work we know is actually making the people who are lost away from Krishna, who are crying in bewilderedness, connecting them to Krishna. So that is sympathy. This is real charity. लोगों को भगवान की शरणागति में लाना, तो उनका जीवन संवर जाएगा, जैसे हमारा जीवन हुआ है. Same thing is for others. So that is the pivot, and then you feed him, no problem. I'm saying, Prabhupada said, all our temples, we should always have prasadam, whoever comes. Prabhupada said, to the extent the whole world can come and we'll feed them, but they should be ready to do bhakti. When they're ready to do bhakti and follow principles, Prabhupada said, we take responsibility, because Krishna takes responsibility for those who want to be his lovers. So a person who understands the good work that is being done and wants to contribute for the good work, just like making an hospital, making an educational unit is actually benefiting people. You feel sympathetic towards that cause and you want to give a donation. You give land, labor, capital, and your intelligence. Right? There is some sympathy. Okay, I want a sympathy for the animals, sympathy for. So, similarly, you have sympathy for people in general in the world, that they become Krishna conscious, they'll become happy. The good work of giving Krishna, we want to be part of that mission. And we give resources for that. And Krishna is saying in the Gita, if you help teach this knowledge to my children, there is no one better than that for me. Krishna in the last he says, जो इस ज्ञान को मेरे भक्तों को देते हैं, उससे ज़्यादा कोई भी मुझको प्रिय नहीं है. Why? Because you're bringing back my lost children. If a father has two children, one is doing very good and one is a rascal, and he has gone away from home and somewhere into very bad situation, the father will be concerned about the good son or the son who has made it miserable in his life, right? He's going to be more concerned about, अरे उसका क्या हुआ, उसका क्या हुआ. He will tell the eldest, अरे जा तू उसको थोड़ा समझा बुझा के लेके आ. So whoever brings back the lost son, what will the father award him? Yes. So similarly, when we help others come to Krishna, please understand how much Krishna will feel indebted to you and me. If you make a person indebted, you get them very easily. So Prabhupada is creating a facility for us, for Krishna to feel indebted to you and me. So actually, when you're contributing to the sympathetic work, you're actually contributing to your own benefit, because Krishna is becoming endearing to you. Right? So when we understand this, and then we give a land, labor, capital. So working for Krishna would mean you're conscious how you're doing it for Krishna. It is not like a haphazardous thing that, it's for Krishna. Just like Arjuna knew, I'm fighting, and Krishna wants this Dharma Yuddha and the virtuous to win, so that virtuous will rule and Krishna consciousness will come to everyone. Not like Duryodhan, who can even insult everyone. Right? So Arjuna understands how my work is going to become service to Krishna. Similarly, all of us who are working and resourcing for the preaching movement, we have to understand it. So then we work hard, we know what the fruits are going towards obliging Krishna. And when you appreciate the good work, you want to be part of the good work. If you don't appreciate the good work, you're never going to be part of the good work. So working for Krishna is a more involved spirit. Because as I said, these are all progressive stages of developing your perfection for Krishna. Right? So this is the third stage. So I will not go to the fourth stage and just leave some time, somebody has a discussion. Right? So today we spoke about, bhakti being the safest, fastest, most reliable, highest aspect of Krishna and many functions of it. And principal point is, in Bhakti, Krishna is the collaborator. We are collaborating with Krishna. And to connect with Krishna, we need sincerity. And whatever work we do for Krishna, do it with a sincere heart. That touches Krishna, and in this way. And Bhakti encompasses all the other methodologies. A crore or 10 lakh has all the denominations included in that. Right? And Krishna says, that's why Krishna so strongly says at the end of the Gita that, just get in business with me. I'll take care of all the other things. Right? So that's the first part we talked. And second part is the progressive stages of Bhakti. The first stage is Mai Eva Mana Adatsva. Your mind cannot go away from Krishna. The second is if our mind is getting deviated, then you practice Abhyasa Yogena. Abhyasa Yogena. He says, if that is difficult for you, then work for me. Karma, he says, Karma Paramo Bhavaha. So for us, I would say we would be a combination of the 2 and 3. Right? 2 for a stipulated time, and 3 for the most amount of time. But the 3 also has to be done with a genuine appreciation for what we are working for, so that you move towards 2. Right? So in this way, it's a whole journey of moving towards Krishna. Prabhupada is designing. And as I said, because the fulfillment that we want to get from this world is like a Bindu, and Krishna is like a Sindhu, and that's true for everyone. Hare Krishna.